Hey guys, I just wanted to show you some of the things I'm working on right now. I've been working on these little alligators. This is the new one that I fixed up, and you can see I've been using this spackling putty to clean all the cracks and stuff. And this one, you might be able to tell the color difference. I mixed in a little concrete with the plaster, and it was pretty strong, but it still broke over there, but I think I should have been able to manage it. And out here, it's a beautiful, disgusting day here in DC, very bad. And you can see I have all of these little alligators that I've been prepping and cleaning and staining in different stages. I was using oil paint, but I think I'm going to switch to acrylic just to see. And also this one is the one that took me the longest. I mean, this one took me a really long time to do in terracotta. So this is not a mold, and only one exists, and I'll be doing a little bit more stuff with it. The process of sculpting it is on my channel if you guys are interested. But here's what I was using: artist solvent, and then just a big brush with oil paint and kind of staining it. And these are all just trash sculptures that I have around. So much stuff, I just throw them away. There's no point in keeping a lot of these sculptures. This is just too much. So one thing that I have here is I bought a long time ago a Leon Kwan plaster cast of the head, but over time things broke, so the nose kind of busted off, and I have this chunk here that busted off the hair. And generally these plaster casts, they're expensive, and I see like some of the paint here has flaked off. So these things are pretty expensive. I forgot how much this is, so I don't. And the thing is, with a plaster cast, the details aren't that good around the eyes. You know, this you would never see in the actual antique sculpture. This is a bad plaster cast, but you still pay a lot. So what I want to do is to fix it, then recast it, make a mold, and see if I can make some reproductions. I also have some other plaster casts that are kind of like flaking off and stuff. And these are all I bought as drawing casts. I think it's pretty important to have some sculptures as drawing casts. And I have the other Michelangelo eye. These are always handy, and these are cheap. And I'm just going to shim it down the side here, down on this side, and then just put like a plaster cast mother mold, and I should be able to make reproductions. I'm also looking forward to removing the hood from here and just seeing if I can do a mask of Martin Luther King. I think that would be kind of cool. And down here we have the Rhino sculpt, and you can see I have the thickener. This one's a pretty different, complex one because I've never done a two-piece sort of mold thing. So I got the base on one spot there and the Rhino here. So I don't know if it's going to reproduce well. And over here, this one is the one I really want to work out. This is all latex, that's all I'm using. And it's the alligator fighting with the python sculpture that I worked on. If you guys are curious about the sculpt, I also have the videos online in my channel. I think it's a pretty fascinating sculpture, and it took me a very long time, but it's complex. So what I was thinking, and if you guys know anything about mold making, maybe you can help me. What I'm going to try and do is put these shims, and I'm using tape, like a metal tape, and I'm just going to run it in the middle here and kind of arc it here, and then come up via the snake and down here and just kind of make a yin-yang sort of spiral. One thing that worries me, and something that I noticed in my alligator sculpture, is that this is lifting up here, and it's pretty high. Look at that. And so if I leave this like this, it's going to have way too much play here, which I don't like. I don't understand why it's raising. And even on this side, I think this happened after I installed the thickener. you know, it's only after I installed the thickener that this happened. So what people say, what I heard is that you poke it because there's air in it, and you just put a hole. But what I'm also hoping is that when I put the mother mold here, the weight of the plaster is going to push it down, and I'm going to push it down quite a bit as well, because I don't want this. Like, I don't like this sort of thing. And on here I have a plaster cast, and I am putting coats of latex. This is my latex stuff here. I don't have a lot, it's so light. That was like $60 in latex. And it worked for all of these little things, which is incredible. So one of the things that I've been doing is trying to come up with different ways of making molds. And I bought this from Polytech. And this is polyurethane rubber. So it's poly 7430. And it comes in like part A, part B. So this is going to be a little bit different than the latex. Also, this is a very light thing. It's a thickener, polyfiber thickener. So there we go. I'll be making some videos of this sort of system. You know, latex is much easier. I like that it's not as disgusting to use. And polyurethane, from what I've read, is that it's a little bit more toxic, it's a little bit harder to use, the mixing of things. But with this sort of stuff, like latex just takes so long. I can do a polyurethane rubber mold in maybe a day or two instead of like a week. This takes a week because you have to let it dry between layers. And it's not a great system, but it works fairly well for what I've done. And the only rubber mold I really make is this alligator. So it's not exactly the best mold, and when I use that rubber, I don't know if you guys saw on my channel, I put some, I made a cast out of plastic. It really kind of hurt a little bit of the mold because there's like little rubber pieces that are stuck in here. I don't recommend that smooth on plastic. I just don't really like it. But I'm trying to improve my way of making mother molds. This is my mother mold for the alligator. It's not great. So I'm trying to figure out better ways to make molds. And over here, this is my plaster, and it's almost all gone. I mean, I can lift it up. This was a 100-pound bag. So I am going to buy a new bag. This is, it's not Plaster of Paris, it's a softer one. It's a modeling moulage. It's cheap, and you can get it at T.W. Perry, a hardware store, for I think it was like $50, so very inexpensive. All right, I put a latex coat on this sculpture, and I'm just going to let it dry. I'm basically just going to use the rest of the latex on this, and then I'm going to build mother molds for all of these, and hopefully I'll get some reproductions. Like all sorts of videos, like anatomy videos, and they don't seem to be very popular, so I'm doing like storyline based videos, so I'm not really sure what to do. So if you have any ideas, just post up in the comments below and I'll get those videos done. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next video.